We open on a girl in her late teens. She's tough but undone. Her hair in a wispy, obscured ponytail, dressed in sneakers and a well-worn hoodie, concealing a netball dress layered below. Fresh off the court, this warrior looks more like a deer in headlights as she crosses a barren stage to its centre. Beholding the blinding lights above her, she becomes lost. Lights beam down outside a stadium on this very girl, 1 week younger and walking hard. She only looks forward, and though she can hear the tears begging her to be released, she does not allow them the satisfaction. The hue of her skin is an unhealthily deep shade of red as she reflects on the events that were tonight's game. She sucks in the air so sharply her lungs feel violated. She fights the urge to fall to her knees as the promise of her shell in the form of a car approaches. This is where she can lose control, let it out, and let the music take the wheel without starting the engine. Hi, I'm Sophia LeRae, and I'm the writer of the character profile for Beth, a star-on-the-rise athlete with a buried fondness for the stage, who must determine whether she's willing to throw away a chance at glory for a chance at happiness. This coming-of-age sports drama uncovers how the journey of life is not some linear and predictable path, but ever-changing. The protagonist, Elizabeth, she goes by Beth, who, allowing for creative license and collaborative input, of course, is inspired by personal experiences. I'll let the rest of the gang take it from here.
Now hooked on the world of theatre music, Beth regularly sings to herself. They make sure no one is around before doing so. However, one day after school, while passionately singing in her car, her secret talent is accidentally discovered by her teacher and local netball umpire Mrs. Green. Having witnessed the tyrannical methods of Beth's netball coach and the joy promoted by her singing, she recommends Beth audition for her local theatre group rather than continue with netball. Following a limited response from an embarrassed Beth, Mrs. Green leaves, hence leaving Beth conflicted and alone with her thoughts. She had never considered anything but netball. It was her one goal, the one thing she really wanted to be good at in life. But should she follow a career path filled with others like her coach, all for the sake of pride? Or should she throw away 5 years of her hard work just for the chance at singing? What would her teammates and coach think? More importantly, what would her dad think? All of his hard work down the drain as well. Besides, she found it hard enough to see him as it was, with netball, without a common interest. Seeing him would certainly be an impossibility. She dismisses the notion of singing professionally entirely. How ridiculous. But what if?
After arriving home from her conversation with Mrs. Green, Beth has a brief conversation with her mother where Beth can tell that she's already upset. Her mother cooks as they stand in the kitchen, and Beth asks her mum if she thinks her father would come to this final game of hers. Before her mother has a chance to respond, her overweight and unpredictable father drunkenly bursts in the door, ignoring both Beth and her mother. Her mother says to him that she is cooking. His gaze not altering at all from staring at nothing, grabs food from the fridge and says that he already ate. As he stumbles off to his room, Beth pipes up to ask him herself, and her mother cuts her off, mouthing to Beth that she will ask later. He continues upstairs, and this devastates Beth, as his lack of attention always has. And on the verge of tears, Beth sprints out of the house and goes on her daily run to clear her head.
Okay, so climax. Beth has been contemplating Mrs. Green's advice on doing something for herself with no one to please. Truth is, she wants to be okay and carry on, but she feels like if she accepts that, then she'd be betraying her feelings. Feeling like she doesn't believe. So match day, put as a wet bench warmer as usual, seeing her dad come for the match, which makes her realize that he comes only to see the athlete that is his daughter and not bad as she is. You know the feeling that you have to please everyone by being the person they want you to be, to prove that you're worth something in this world, proving yourself to be capable in their eyes, being a slave to their judgment. She's had enough of that. A thought struck Beth that she doesn't have to do anything for her dad or her coach. This is her life. I am Beth. I'm who I want to be. Back to the match, a player is injured and her coach wants Beth to play. Beth then confronts her coach, saying that she's had enough of her ungratefulness. Never realizing the effort she had given to please her. She said, things like this make you realize that you need me more than you know. I am suddenly more than just a bench warmer to you, huh? I'm sick of you controlling my life. I don't need you, coach. But you need me. She then left the match, breaking her thought of a structured life for once, doing what Beth really wants to do. She doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Her dad seeing her leaving makes him realize that being an athlete like him is something he wants her to do, not her own wish. She doesn't belong in the field, never was. He unleashes her like a dog without a leash, free to run through the grass. She comes to the audition with a sense of liberty, getting on that stage, holding the mic ready to start a new life. Then the story ends. It doesn't matter if she got the part or not. What really matters is that she's the writer now, not the reader. Truly living as Elizabeth, she is free.